We have to be inclusive. We have to know that the others that exist, they have their own concerns, they have their own ambitions, they have their own culture, but we can perfectly coexist. That is how I want to see Palestine. I personally want to see Palestine. Maybe it won't come at my young age. Maybe my sons and daughters would witness that, but that's the only exit, my friend. We can keep talking and talking until the morning. But the bottom line is that one small piece of land could not be carved really. It has to be shared. It has to be shared in a very genuine manner, not just shared, this is peace for me and this is peace for you. No, we can all live in all of the land, but respectively and in a manner that reflects rather, human dignity.
So, I mean, basically, you're looking for a one-state solution.
It doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter. Don't focus on the solution. Focus on the mentality, on the ideology, on the ideas in the heads. Doesn't matter if we have one-state solution and everybody believe that we need exclusive existence. Then it's going to be inside the one state. There will be 300 states, and people will be segregated. But if we have, if that is not there, if people genuinely are open to one another, and if they abandon these thoughts and these ideologies, the ideologies of exclusivity, that we want to be Palestinians only, nobody else can live here, or we want to be Jewish only, pure, then whatever form of resolution will fail.
What about now one of the Israeli points of view has always been on security. For example, we've had, Qassam missiles have been fired from Gaza, for example. How is the Palestinian Authority reacting to that?
This phenomena is a very local phenomena, and it's regrettable.
Yeah.
It's not. I regret it because I don't think it's the most effective tool to resist occupation. I believe we do not have any military supremacy whatsoever, and some of these amateurs, homemade nonsense, does not provide any symmetry for Palestinians. What provides symmetry for Palestinians, or balance, is our moral high grounds, which we have to keep, and we have to.
So you completely reject any form of violence?
No, I accept all forms of resistance as long as they enjoy moral high grounds. And in the Palestinian case, we have very moral cause, we have a legal cause, and we should defend it as such, with a great deal of morality, great deal of legality, with respecting international norms and international law, and I am totally and utterly, for instance, against indiscriminate killing anywhere, against any Palestinian engage himself or herself in indiscriminate killings.
Yes. I mean, obviously we haven't seen any suicide bombs for suicide missions, I suppose, for some time now.
Luckily.
Yes. I mean, is this due to Israeli security measures or to Palestinian security measures as well?
No, it's not due to any security measures. It's due to Hamas declaring a unilateral ceasefire 2 years ago and abiding by it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
So there's always a risk that they could start doing it again?
Of course. 100%.
So what is the attitude on the street? If you and I were to go to Gaza now and you introduced me to your parents and your family, how would they? What would they tell me? Or maybe not your family, or your neighbours, or whoever. What would they say to me?
They will tell you, forget about all these questions you just asked. Borders, 67. We just want to send our kids to school, and we want to have a decent clinic, and we want to have some good transportation system, and we want to travel if we wish to, and we want some economic opportunities. That's the most important thing. Some security, of course, personal, individual, human security.
How do people live in Gaza?
Miserably, because they're imprisoned, as I told you.
But what about economic? Can you start a business up? Could you start, I don't know, doing something like going to a warehouse, buying a pile of washing up liquid, and then start selling it off in smaller, little things like that. Is that possible?
Where would you trade it? Where would you send it?
I don't know. Internally.
internally the economic situation, poverty in some areas in Gaza is as high as 80%. So the local market is very weak, and you cannot export anywhere or deal with any other market, even your own market, that is the West Bank, or neighboring countries. Everything is closed.
What about, but people must live somehow, they're not, I mean, are they starving?
It's primarily, they are living on the Palestinian Authority salaries. 1/3 of the society in Gaza is directly dependent on the salaries of the Palestinian Authority and on the social services by the authority and by the international humanitarian aid, like UNRWA, the UN, etc.
Yes, yes.
These are the two sources of surviving, if you may.
Yeah, yeah. What could be done immediately to end this?
End the stupid siege imposed on Gaza. That's the first thing. That's the very first thing. Engage with everybody and give Palestinian leadership a political horizon that is very serious. Ending the conflict with Israel based on the international consensus.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Yeah, yeah. What about at the moment, the conflict between Fatah and Hamas? What's been at the root of that?
That's an output.
Yeah.
Just an output. The input primarily is the international stupidity of imposing the siege and of imprisoning people, in addition to the Israeli siege. It's an input of many inputs that has led to this. Segregation, separation, boycotting, pressuring, economic situation, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And then things explode. That's why the first thing I said is see the siege, boycott, deal with people, open for people, give them hope. It's silly that you punish them because of some democratic process. They have elected this way simply because you have not listened to them all these years.
Yeah.
They have delivered a vote simply to indict you. It's an indictment for 14 years of empty promises by the unbiasedness by some quarters of the world.
Yes.
So don't do it again. Learn from the lesson. Engage with people. Try to be as fair as possible. I know fairness is impossible in this world, but try to be fair and to be neutral. And try to come as a third party, not as a party that is striking. And the conflict is very simple. It's not that complicated. It can be resolved in a few days, if there is a will.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Thank you for taking the interest.
Right, thank you.